Oh my gosh.
Not
Oh my
fetch.
god.
What's a brain pop?
Cute.
Sparkles. Brain pop,
Darling.
brain pop.
What is that? I don't-
What's a brain
Everybody
pop?
shh.
Oh, cool.
Welcome to Inside My Brain Pop. Black Diamond originally was created for Fashion Week. Fashion Week, if you don't know, is every year, twice a year in February and September, and typically goes through 4 regions of the world. We have New York, Milan, Paris, and London. And I chose to pay homage to all 4 weeks of Fashion Week and in general. Seeing as Fashion Week has been around for such a long time and has implemented so many upcoming designers and myself to be creative. Before Black Diamond was inspired by the 1920s through the 60s. I wanted to get some insight from Bridgerton, actually, which is one of the song choices that I used for the series. And I wanted to think about Breakfast at Tiffany's, Marilyn Monroe. I thought about women back in their roaring 20s as they wore their long and elegant, most chic gloves and whatnot. I wanted to kind of take away from that and bring it to life in a more modern and classy, timeless version. So I took some insight from actually the company Tiffany's. I played with the sheets a lot because I actually kept falling every other scene. When I put all those sheets on the floor, I didn't take into account that I would have to walk around these with heels, and I did get my award. So I fell a lot. I actually almost twisted my ankle in the brown set, but at this one, I decided to take no shoes. So the gloves were inspired by some of our modern day or more postmodern girly or comfort films. If anyone knows about Dreamgirls, Dreamgirls is one of my favorite films and my best friends as well, along with Express. If you don't know what Express or burlesque. So in Dreamgirls, you have 3 characters or 4 women on stage actually, and each woman is in a dress that is of a similar caliber to the next, but the lead is always seen in one specific or tailored ensemble for them to stand out as the lead or the main character. You see this a lot in music videos, movies, TV, live performances, and you see some of these artists that have made these ensembles of their dancers in different outfits and then them in different outfits and so on. I also, being in my early 20s, am very modest. I do not dress my age. I wear a lot of corporate colors. Corporate colors, in my opinion, is black, gray, navy blue, pale blue, brown, cream, and white. They're your safe colors. Your safe colors are what's appropriate to wear to an interview, what's appropriate to wear to a meeting, and it's usually, if you didn't notice, one of those colors. Hence why I call it corporate colors. Corporate colors can also, in my opinion, vary from dark or forest green and burgundy. Those are the only 2 others that I would say could vary, and then maybe you can get away with a dark or seamless purple in a sense. But you never see anyone come into the corporate world with orange, red, yellow, neon, so on and so forth. You always see them in one of those few colors. And then an accessory, maybe silver or gold, those are also corporate colors and are safe colors as well. But you've never seen anybody in a full-on gold suit. And if it was, it'd be a pale or maybe a bold and daring color, but usually not the case in the majority of the clauses or situations that you would be in that scenario. Around my age, I've just never been into wearing too much. I think a little is enough, and sometimes you don't need a full ensemble, or as we girls in my age range say, body, or the girls are showing or are sitting and whatnot. I don't really do any of that because as of recently, I have forgotten and left behind different things that my generation tends to carry, do, and say because I'm focusing on my relationship with Christ. I am a woman of God, And because of that, I also didn't want to have anything that is vulgar or secular be shown in any of my process or creation of the video, or any of my videos actually. Um, so this is another thing that I've implemented into my daily lifestyle and some of the things that I thought about while I was making this. Usually I would have used a classical beat to pay more homage and upkeep with the Fashion Week standards, but being a modern woman in this day in society and what people would call Generation X or Z, I'm prone to upbeat and uplifting music. I'm prone to a melody. I'm prone and more subject to listen to something that's more fast paced and slow based. If you catch my drift, but I also like to combine the two. Something that I've forgotten and left behind in my rebranding and rebuilding as a woman of faith in my lifestyle is my music. I used to listen to very secular rap, hip hop, R&B, and pop music, but I have forsaken that and have replaced it with classical and jazz, bossa nova, slow pop, lo-fi beats for my studying and my educational endeavors, jazz, a combination of classical crossovers. Classical music, since I was younger, actually has made a comeback in my life. I am a pianist, and I've learned how to play sheet music and other notes and things of that nature. And now I'm coming back around full circle in my early adulthood, and being in my early 20s is quite phenomenal. I'm really happy I've made this turnaround for myself. And I read something that mentioned that it starts with what you listen to, about how you strengthen and develop your relationship with Christ. And I've taken it upon myself to do just that. So I haven't listened to any rap music or anything that's new and out right now. I actually just heard about a song on TikTok from an artist that I used to listen to. I actually couldn't read the title at first, and then when I finally figured out what it said, I said, "Oh," and then I listened to the video again, and I said, "Okay, so that is what it's saying." It's by Gunna, and I'm sure you all know what it is. The stars, because it's slow paced, it is still deemed appropriate, and it's still something that I enjoy and have really liked ever since it came out. When we all first heard about Black Panther coming out and the official trailer and the release and the promo was happening, I personally was very, very excited. This is our first Black film. This is a predominantly Black cast. I was wondering about the music, being from a musical background, the cinema, the outfits, the wardrobe, the fight scenes. I was interested about everything. So when the movie came out, I took a lot of inspiration from that film because it was so monumental to us. And one of the first starting points to see more and predominantly a Black cast, women and men alike, in Hollywood. And since then, we've seen a significant change in such. We've seen so much of Black women and men just slowly beginning to infiltrate Hollywood here and coming forth in the new years that are to come. And it's so nice to see just more African American men and women coming into Hollywood and being accepted by our culture, let alone behind the scenes, but on screen in major films and movies with lead and main roles. It was very exciting to see, and I decided to use that to pay more homage to what a Black diamond really means. A Black diamond is also seen in such a good sense of opulence because of its cut, color, carat, and clarity. Originally, I decided to use the colors of the outfits that I was going to use for each set, but then I realized it'd be too much taking down and time process, and the time management between the set changes would be too much. That would have taken me days to film. A lot of photo shoots and brands and companies either set themselves up off of a white or solid background only, and then they edit it, or a green screen. I created a encapsulated pair. So my pair was more along the lines of a little circle or a little cave of wonders. And my cave of wonders was to create a set that looked like a tunnel. And then the window was supposed to be my main form of light. I wasn't going to use any artificial lights or studio lights and whatnot. I was only going to use the natural light coming from the window. I didn't use any makeup for any of this filming because I wanted everything to stay natural, and I've never been more of a makeup person. I don't wear makeup at all. I used to wear makeup at one point in my life, but I stopped because it just became too much of a hassle and a time period for me, so I don't do that as much as I used to anymore. I really wear chapstick and maybe lip gloss, but I'm not much of a makeup person anymore because I only wanted to pay attention to accessories. I wanted people to notice the handbag, which is fully bedazzled, just for my mother, by the way. Thank you, Mom. And I actually got that with her at TJ Maxx a few years ago. And then I wanted people to see the little black dress and then pay attention more to the poses and the concept and the editing of the video. I wanted to take away from anything shiny, so I limited myself to a few accessories. So I did that one barefoot. And then being in stockings, this is a lot of the time why I'm sitting down. And as I'm sitting down, I'm just figuring out what other ways can I pose on the ground to still bring the playful aspect that I was going to bring to the set. Because originally I had a pose where I was standing and my hands would have been like this, and I was going to do a still of the bag coming or hanging from the ceiling here. So it would have been like this and almost like trying to stop the bag from falling on me. But I couldn't do that as well. That was a very fun factor for me. I fell a lot of slipping and sliding, but it was worth it in the end. We have talked inside my brain pops. Thank you so much for joining me in the making of Black Diamond, and I hope to inspire and create more. And my brain pop for you is, what is your favorite time of year and why? Mine is Christmas. And I love Christmas because of the ambiance, the lights, the music, the movies. It is also one of the coldest times of the year. And I feel because I've lived in such a hot, humid environment all my life, I've now gravitated to more colder environments and atmospheric conditions. So that's another reason why I love the cold so much. Toodles, stay safe, and God bless.